my ego it's like my job is my ego, and that identification with my job has taken away from the spontaneity of what I feel.
So what do you mean your job is your ego? And why is it taken away from the spontaneity? My job, this work is not my ego. It's just work that I do that happens here. Why do I do this work? First of all, because the message is very obvious to me. And then even before someone asked me to do this, I knew I would be able to. I hadn't thought about how or anything, but I knew I'd be able to. But I was playing the guitar, and then someone asked me to do it, and so I do it. But why? I don't think why am I able to do it? I don't know. Just for whatever reason, this mind, with this knowing, these words come out. It's not my ego. So I'm not identified with this as like in that way, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why I said my ego.
So maybe, so what do you mean?
I mean, yeah. I need to reformulate it because I don't know why I said ego.
Oh,
because
that's okay.
I don't think. I mean, what I share, when I teach what I teach, it's because of whatever comes through. It's not like I identify with my knowledge or something like that. It just manifests. Let me think about it a little bit.
Okay, that's
more.
fine. You can. Oh. I have the wrong thing on. No problem. 1 second. Test 1 2. Test 1 2. Okay. So I don't think that I'm a teacher or something like that, or even a musician. But I may use those words. What do you do? I'm a musician. That's just as a practical way of speaking. But I don't see myself as a teacher or anything like that. And literally, when I get off this meeting, I'm just a guy hanging out in German bakery like anyone else, you know, or whatever. So I don't have not that you're saying this, but just to be clear, I don't have an identity as anything, really. It's more like, what do you do? Okay, so then I play the guitar, make music, I share this message, but none of those things are who I am, you know. So there's no ego in that. You can do anything, doesn't mean it's ego, you know, you just do what you do. Ego means I am a teacher, I'm a satsang giver, I'm a guru, that's who I am. You know, that would be ego. And it's not how I see it at all, you know. So your dancing is what you do. Why do you like dance? We'll just do an inquiry anyway, and you probably get it, but let's do it anyway for fun. When did you first realize you liked dancing, or dance, or whatever?
Well, dance has been, I think, when I was a child, when I was little, I've always danced, you know. I just closed the room and just be taken into a ride. I didn't even know where I was going.
Right. You didn't choose to be that way. That's who you are, right?
Exactly. Yeah. But I mean, I have my psychological explanation for that. You know, I was obviously escaping or entering another realm. You know, I was obviously moving away from discomfort towards some kind of a release. You know.
So even if that's true, if there was discomfort, and you didn't like the discomfort, did you choose to not like the discomfort, or did you create the discomfort, and did you choose to
No,
not
I didn't
like it?
create the discomfort.
Right. So then out of that came the idea of movement.
It wasn't an idea, it was a pull.
What's that? Okay, great.
It was a pull.
Yeah.
It was a pull.
So you didn't create any of that. So
It just happened.
You can look at the psychological reasons and say there was discomfort. That's fine, but you don't need to do that either.
Right.
That's also fine to see and understand, no problem. But to see one more step beyond that, you can just see that that's just what happened here, isn't it? There's no one, you didn't create or choose any of those things. That's clear, right?
Yeah.
And so you're a dancer, and so obviously you have some natural ability to dance, you know. And some people are like amazing singers or amazing ballerinas or amazing guitar players. People have different, whatever my level of ability is what it is. I didn't create that level of ability or musical intelligence, whatever you want to call it. And same for you, whatever your level of dancing and dancing intelligence is. Did you create that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. Right. Now, if you're from that, like I used to practice a lot, and because I realized that I had some musical ability, I found it easy. And out of that, and the love of doing it, came the intention or the interest to get better. But that just came, didn't it? Because there was the love was there, and the whatever natural ability was there. Out of that came, okay, let's practice more. So I didn't choose to practice more. See, it's a
You didn't go through a formal training of...
I did when I was 19. I went to a music college. Before that, I just loved the music. Johnny Winter and the Allman Brothers and the Beatles and Jimi Hendrix. And so I just sat with my record player after school every day. I didn't know how to read music or anything, and learned how to play those songs. Only because I loved it, you know. I didn't choose to love it. I just did, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't choose to not like school. I hardly went to my classes. I honestly don't know how I got through high school. I really don't know how I got through. I just squeaked by. I hardly went to classes and managed to get through somehow. Mostly I was in the back smoking weed, you know. But I got through somehow. But so there was, for me, I saw nothing interested me in high school, for example. Nothing. I had one art class I liked, but other than that, nothing. I didn't like it at all. I didn't find any. Same with church before that. Both in church and religion, I saw nothing that I found interesting. I saw fear, and I felt there's nothing here for me. And same with school, nothing here for me. But when I found music, because my father went to Mexico, and so I didn't do this either. My father went to Mexico on a business trip, came back and gave my mother a $17 Mexican guitar. And she was playing a little silly pop song from the 60s back then. I was maybe 12. And she went in the kitchen, and I picked up the guitar, and I figured out that melody, you know. And she came running in like, wow, it's amazing. So she put me in a few guitar lessons, but I didn't like those either. It was really crap stuff, so I didn't enjoy. But whatever, there seemed to be at least something of some ability there. So then she got me an electric guitar, and then I heard Jimi Hendrix, and then that was it, man. I was fucking totally taken away, you know. And I didn't choose any of that, you know. I didn't choose whatever ability I have. I didn't choose to love it. I didn't choose to be taken. I didn't choose to not be interested in church and school. That's just what was here. That's what was happening here. See, there's no one here to do any of that. And so I was compelled, you know, the compulsion was there to do that, you know. And so after school every day, that's what I did, you know. Maybe similar for you. You just love it.
Yeah, the only difference I would say is that I did eventually made it through a formal training in dance, and, you know, in several places, and
yeah.
Which
I did go to music college for a couple of years as well, yeah. I didn't go for that long, but so you did. So,
yeah.
But, and so why did you go to that formal training?
Because I was compelled with movement.
Yeah.
And I wanted, of course, to get better and understand further. But that really didn't give me much of the knowledge I was looking for. It was not until I came then to this system that I learned, you know, that is also body related and energy related, that I came to the realization of what and how really things are happening, you know, internally. And so that made the shift. And then I always dreamt, okay, I will return to dance, you know, And that's where I was kind of getting there at the beginning. I would return to dance with this understanding, you know, that was always missing when I was actually training as a dancer, you know. But I didn't yet, so.
You didn't what?
I didn't yet return to dance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And
And I might never return.
You might never.
I
But
might never.
and for up until a year ago, for 2 years, up until 1 year ago, I didn't touch my guitar. Didn't touch it. I moved it out of the way once in 2 years. Didn't touch it. I had no interest. And then maybe a year ago, the inspiration came. Pick up the guitar, and in 2 weeks, 11 new songs came. And that's what I'm recording, some of those now, and some older ones as well. And since that moment happened, I've been completely, infatuated again with making music, And then that can go again. That can go again. It's come and gone many times in my life already, So I didn't choose to get back into music again. One day, something just happened, So it could happen there.
Yeah, there is a belief, of course, that because maybe you did something when the inspiration came and, the 11 songs arrived. But when my inspiration came, because I was locked up into some schedule, working schedule, or just it's not like I'm busy already. I don't have time for that. So that's for later. But then when you have time for that, the inspiration is not there. It
can happen,
so it's and then there is then there has been a distress, because you feel I am never in the right timing with this. So what do I need to do to be ready when it comes, to catch it on the way? Maybe it will never return, And that's so.
And that thought just appears as well. What do I have to do to be ready for that? That thought just appears, but that's not. You don't create that either. There's no one in there even having that thought. There's just that thought appearing. And anyway,
right.
Maybe one day you won't have anything to do, and the inspiration will be there, or maybe not. We don't know. I don't know. That's why I say I don't know anything. I don't know the next moment. I don't know what life is going to bring. I could lose interest in music tomorrow. It could happen. Absolutely. Could happen.
It's nice to, it in a way, it makes this statement of yours, thanks to your statement, I get to rest, because it's like, because it's, because this thought has been hammering, and it's creating tension.
Yes, exactly.
Internally, so it's, I never thought that I could rest, with this and just let it go.
That's great.
Yeah,
Beautiful. That's the purpose of this.
Right.
Of course. You're fired. You're all retired, going to retirement now. Permanent holiday. And life will unfold as it does. Who am I to push life around? I don't know anything about anything, And so, but that's supported by our second inquiry, which is the value of knowing that you're whole and complete already. See, once you really know you're whole and complete already, and you don't need anything to be in a particular way to be whole and complete, because you're already whole and complete, then you have less desire to push life around. So now you're ready to hear the message that you don't control anything. Because now, okay, I don't control anything, but it doesn't matter because I'm whole and complete already, just as I am. See, they're very much tied together, As long as we think we need something to fulfill us, we will continue to hold on to the ego as a controller to try to get to that position of fulfillment. But now we know we don't need anything. We're fine. Good. Then that's a very relaxed way of being in life, isn't it? And, you know, strangely enough, in the last 2 years, I designed and built a house. I wrote 2 books. I wrote 11 songs, and I'm recording a new album. I've done 5 online intensives. I've done now 3 of these intensives in the last 2 years. I don't feel like I did anything. From the outside, it looks like the guy did a lot. I don't think I did anything. I don't feel like it. There was nothing. Nothing was done out of a need. It was just in this moment, some words are being typed into a book, and in this moment, a schedule for an intensive is happening. And in this moment, I'm just putting this wall into this part of the house. That's all that's happening. This moment, this moment, this moment, this moment, this moment. That's all that's happening. And see, and then you look back and you say, my God, a lot was done. What a doer this guy is. And I look like a doer because it looks like I've done a lot. And yeah, I've done a lot, but I don't feel like there's anyone here that has done anything, you know. But a lot of things were done, you know. So I think probably maybe I get more done in this way. Not that I care, because I don't care if I get nothing done, but maybe I'm able to get more done because there's no pressure. This moment do this, and this moment do this, and this moment do this, you know, that's all. But what I spent most of my time on in the last 3 years is trying to find something to watch on Netflix, as we can